If you're using Stripe and you're getting hit with tons of disputes or chargeback, this video will literally save your account, because the reality is if you get too many Stripe chargebacks, you may in fact get your account frozen. It will hurt your approval rates, so you'll get less approved transactions. It'll increase your processing costs and you will be losing money, because every Stripe chargeback costs you an extra $15 fee in addition to the money that you lost for the sale. And the scary part about this is that most business owners and merchants think Stripe chargebacks happen because of fraud, but in reality, it can happen for many, many reasons. Some of which include your customers don't recognize the charge, they forgot that they subscribed to your product or service, or they just didn't know how to get in touch with you and they just called their bank instead. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 very powerful tools that you can use today to prevent Stripe chargebacks and keep that money in your business's pocket. These strategies that I'm going to talk to you about today are incredibly efficient and very easy. Now, whether you're a SaaS company, whether you're an e-commerce brand, whether you're a coach or an online agency, these strategies will definitely work for you. And if you implement them correctly, I guarantee you that you will see a reduction in your chargebacks and you will have happier customers and you will have less losses in your business. And how do I know all this stuff? Well, my name is Maria Sparagas. I am the founder of DirectPayNet, and I have been in the payments industry for over 20 years. I have helped thousands of merchants figure out how to lower chargebacks, keep more money into their business, and also get reliable payment processing for their business. So today I really want to dive into Stripe chargebacks and really help you figure out how you're going to save money and how you're most importantly going to prevent Stripe chargebacks. Now, the first strategy that's super simple and very easy to create is to have a page on your website called "What is this charge for?" You can either stuff it in your FAQs and really make it right at the top. You can also put it in your terms and conditions or on your support page. So make it very visible. So anybody who bought from you and may have forgotten or doesn't recognize what the charge was for, or they subscribe to your service, for example, and don't remember, this page will really just answer their questions and make sure that if they do have an inquiry, they will come to you. So your page should clearly say, "What is this charge for?" And what you should include in there is your company name, your product name, your website, what your billing descriptor says, and if possible, you should include your pricing so they can see that it matches what they were charged. On that page, you should also include some wording that says, "If you don't recognize this charge, or if you've never made this purchase, please feel free to call us or email us," or ideally, if you have live chat, you offer them a live chat option, but include as many ways as possible for the customer to get in touch with you. And the more immediate the contact, the better for you, because you don't want them sending an email and then just calling their bank because you may have taken too long. So you need to explain to the customer that if they see this charge and they don't recognize it after reading your page, then they can contact you. And what this does, it's huge for reducing fraud, because most people contact their bank because they don't know who you are or how to get in touch with you. So having this on your page will really stand out. And what I suggest is on your main page, you should have a support tab right at the top, or if you need help, click here. So that way, when a customer goes onto your website, if they need help, they can get it immediately by clicking at the top, and they're not trying to look through a whole page to figure out, how to get help. So this strategy is huge for reducing friendly fraud from customers that don't recognize transactions, and also for reducing unwanted chargebacks. So, if a customer calls in, they can get a refund, and that prevents a chargeback from happening on your Stripe account. So it's a win-win for everybody. And honestly, many chargebacks and disputes can be prevented just by offering very clear support. So if you're running a subscription program, a SaaS, an e-commerce business, or anything where, it's a monthly subscription, having clear and visible support will really help, your customers get in touch with you and prevent chargebacks. And that page is gold, and we'll make sure that customers contact you before contacting their bank. Now, the second strategy I want to talk to you guys about is the billing descriptor. So when a customer looks through their credit card statement, they need to be able to recognize what the charge is for. This is huge in preventing chargebacks. So if your billing descriptor is confusing or doesn't really represent what the customer bought, this will lead to the customer calling their bank and trying to figure out what this purchase is for. Now, the easiest way for you to know what your billing descriptor is try a test transaction yourself and take a look to see what shows up on your credit card statement so you can see if this makes sense for your customers. Now, oftentimes I see people rush through their Stripe setup and they just put their business name. Their business name doesn't match what the product is that they're selling. And oftentimes the business name doesn't really, stick out to most customers. So it's important that you put something representative in there so you can go into your Stripe settings and change that at some point. Keep in mind, if you have recurring billing customers, any new charge will show up with the new billing descriptors. So it is very important for you to understand all clients that are getting rebilled or on a subscription will now see the new descriptor. But it is very important for you to have a descriptor that makes sense for what you're selling so a customer can see it and be able to recognize that charge. Also, as a bonus tip here is you have something called a location field, which can be a phone number. So if you're an online business, customers don't really need to know what city or state you're in. You can put a phone number there. Keep in mind, it's maximum 13 characters that you could put in there. And that way the customer, instead of calling their bank, they can pick up the phone and call you and figure out what's going on. For example, if they don't recognize the charge. And now keep in mind, it's very, very easy for customers to file a chargeback. They can usually do it in their banking portal. So make it as easy as possible for customers to recognize the charge, to be able to call you, and overall just to ensure that they understand what they bought. Your goal here is for customers to contact you so you can prevent any chargebacks, because if they contact their bank, it can go very quickly from what is this charge to let's file a dispute or a chargeback. Number 3, and this is a very effective tool, and this is something that can help prevent chargebacks tremendously, is to use chargeback prevention tools. So what this includes is alerts to alert you before a customer decides to charge back. Now, this could be verify alerts, which are mainly for Visa card transactions. It could be Ethica alerts. There's also some tools called Consumer Clarity and Order Insights. These are tools that can be very helpful for subscription businesses if clients have purchased from you in the past. Now, what these tools do is they notify you as the business owner before a chargeback happens. So you can either contact the customer, or you can decide to auto refund, or you can take an action before that becomes a chargeback. And honestly, these help prevent a lot of major issues later on. And the most important thing is if you do get an alert from any of these services, you have to make sure that you respond within 24 hours to avoid the chargeback. If you wait too long, then the chargeback may just go through and you may have to pay for an alert and a chargeback fee later on. And one key thing that you have to keep in mind is adding all of these alerts is important because they all cover different things. For example, the Order Insights will go back and see if customers have purchased from you in the past and provide proof that this is a regular transaction that they've done in the past, and they will just file it away and the chargeback never occurs. These alerts cost less than chargebacks, so you are saving money by having these alerts. And I can guarantee you this is one of the best investments you're going to make to ensure that your Stripe account stays safe and that you can lower your Stripe chargebacks without worrying at the end of the month if a few too many come in, and then obviously the problems that ensue with Stripe if you go over any type of thresholds that they set up for your account. Keep in mind, if you get too many chargebacks, Stripe may put a reserve on your account. They may put your funds on hold, ask you a ton of questions to allow you to continue accepting payments, and even worst case, they may shut down your account. So if you want to prevent Stripe chargebacks, what you have to do is you have to create an FAQ about why this charge happened on the customer's credit card and what is the charge for. Number 2, you have to have a clear descriptor so customers can recognize the charge and be able to call you if there is any issue. And lastly, don't forget to set up your chargeback alerts. If you need help setting up chargeback alerts for your Stripe account, feel free to reach out to me on the details down below and I can get you set up, and it takes very little effort and you will start seeing a result directly on your Stripe chargebacks within the week. So these are very simple and easy strategies. And if your account has been shut down by Stripe or you have a large reserve, I have tons of videos that I'm going to link down below to help you get your money back and to make sure that your account is unfrozen from Stripe. If you need any help or have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My details are down below. And if this episode was helpful, feel free to leave me a comment, or I would really appreciate a like and a share so you can give this content away to other people who may benefit from it. Thank you so much for listening and have yourself a great day.